Hello, welcome everyone. It's Meredith. I'm here with our weekend reading for Saturday, November 3rd, Sunday, November 4th. And we are using the Tattoo Tarot. Love this deck. It's beautiful. Haven't used it in a long time, and I thought we needed something fresh and new and different. Okay, check out your November monthly readings and the weekly forecast. They are both linked for you at the end of this video. All right, so let's see what's running through the theme of the weekend. Our card from the bottom of the deck is the Star. Okay, intentions, plans, goals. Some of us feeling like we're starting over, fresh perspective. My guides are saying that this is a wish or a prayer being fulfilled in our weekend. My guides are also saying that this is something that's been a long time coming. Though we've had our eye on it, and we've had our hearts set on it. Okay, let's see what goes with it. First card, Nine of Swords. Well, yeah, we've actually been worrying about it a little bit. This is the up in the middle of the night, you know, busy brain, can't stop the thoughts, and not resting, not being at peace or ease. These cards are very much in conflict with one another. You know, the Star is so very spiritual, and it's having complete and total faith, and, you know, putting your prayer and your wish out, your seeds of desire out into the multiverse, and having complete faith for the return, for their arrival, for their development and growth. And I'm coming back to this feeling like a long process. And it's perhaps in the length of the process, which is the perception of time. However, where we go to manifest, there is no such thing as time. But in linear 3D Earth world, where we have clocks and calendars, there's a sense that this is something that is a long time coming. And it's created some worry, some doubt. I also feel that this Nine of Swords is a stimulation of energies that could potentially be in the way of the fulfillment of what's on the Star. So this is the work, the spiritual journey work, the inner work, the self-care, the self-nurturing, the self-responsibility that is required to receive the fulfillment of the very things we desire. My feeling is that this is the path we've been on for, again, perceptions of time here, for a long time. But it's almost as though something's winding down closer than ever to this Star, to whatever this is for us. And the closer we are, the further away it feels. And then there is fear, doubt, worry, lack of faith. Let's see what goes with it. The Fool. This is perfect, really. The Fool is a reminder to embrace the spirit of enthusiasm, excited anticipation that was had at the time that this was in its beginning stages over here on the Star. Okay, next. Eight of Wands. Beautiful, because I was just saying it's closer than we think. You know, we could really reach out and touch it, but that Nine of Swords would, has the potential to be our undoing when it comes to negative self-talk, inner dialogue that does not serve the greater purpose of what's on the Star, and our desire to embrace it with the enthusiasm and the innocence and the raw, free-spiritedness of the Fool. So the Eight of Wands is kind of coming in here, swooping in the 11th hour, saying, hang on, do not allow that Nine of Swords to undo everything that you have been intending for yourself. And there's a reminder there that, you know, I just had a conversation with someone about this yesterday, that, you know, a moment's doubt or worry does not have to undo years of planning, growing, progress. You know, a moment's worry, or, you know, a night awake with fears, doubts, and concerns. This is very human. This is something that we do. These are the things that creep up on us in those wee small hours. And if we've learned anything, we've learned that we require more love, not less, when that happens. And we require validation, though often we seek validation outside of our own selves. So this Nine of Swords is a reminder to turn toward yourself. Turn a blind eye to this BS, because you've already worked through it multiple times through many layers of experience. And instead, pull that blindfold off and look into your own eyes. Look into your eyes in a mirror and reassure yourself. Seeking validation outside the self is not going to work here. It's going to add more to that Nine of Swords. Okay. The Eight of Wands feels like a beautiful grace. Yeah. Next card. Queen of Cups. Perfect. This is... Let's take a look at her card for a moment. She's got the all-seeing eye as a pendant around her neck, and it is above her cup, which is considered her scrying mirror. So as I'm saying to you, look into your own eyes in a mirror and reassure and validate your own self. I feel that the Queen is backing that message up, but not only that, she's reminding us to pay attention to our intuition. Cups are very emotional in tarot, and they are quite connected to love. So there's a strong message of self-love here. The Star card feels quite connected to our manifestation process, but for many of us, this is manifesting the love of your life. That's what I feel there. It's just loud and clear off that card. I do know that you're not just manifesting the love of your life. This is related to, you know, all aspects of your life. So I don't want to dismiss or overlook that, or focus too hard on loving relationships, though I do need to pay attention to the fact that we've got the Queen of Cups, and she brings a gift of love. That cup could be seen as the Ace of Cups, which is a gift of love, but also she's a master of the emotional. So she sits underneath that Nine of Swords. This is a woman who has experienced all 9 of those swords. Not only experienced it, but did the self-care, self-love, self-nurture, and self-validation work required as each sword appeared in her life. So she's a reminder to us to really look for validation within the self, within our own heart space, within our own soul energy. Because that's what brings out the excitement, the enthusiasm, the raw free-spiritedness of the Fool, which is what we're praying for in these loving relationships. Interesting. Ooh, now we have a reversal here. We have Justice in the reverse. So there's something out of harmony and out of balance. Yeah, well, the Nine of Swords. It's kind of out of balance here. If you couldn't have 2 more contrasting energies between the Queen and that 9. And there appears to be the perception of a disconnect with the Fool's energy. So we're talking about free-spiritedness. You know, I'm getting a very specific message here that there are those of you who are deeply considering a love relationship. And there is, in the Nine of Swords, one of the greatest fears in there is a lack of freedom for self-expression within committed relationship. And the reminder here is coming from the Queen that you can you can't you cannot consider that a new relationship will be like your old relationship. This is not the first time that we have gotten this message. It has come up over the past month and a half. So the way to have a new experience is to do it different. It's a new adventure, fool. I realized that just sounded like I called you a fool. I did not. The reminder. Sorry. Oh gosh, cracking myself up. I sounded like Mr. T just then. I pity the fool. Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on. You can embrace the new adventure within the new relationship in a whole new way. You know, you prayed for, wished for the love of your life. It's being delivered. This is something that has been coming into form. Most of you have already made contact with that person and have been building on that slowly but surely. And you have encountered these swords along the way. And there's been fear, concern, a lack of harmony. I also feel communication somewhat compromised here because self-expression has been withheld to some degree off that 9. And there's been the concern that the prior relationships have too heavy an influence on the current relationships. So that can only come to be if that is what you are focusing on. If you are wanting or desiring your new relationship experience to be, you know, enthusiastic, exciting, adventurous, free-spirited, then adopt definitely the energy of the Fool. Bring that to the relationship. Express that. That's why justice is upside down, because that has not been expressed fully. That has not been discussed fully. So have that conversation with the person that you are loving right now, somewhat from afar. Bring that into the light of day. There's a beautiful sun on that Fool card. Bring that into the sun and express yourself with the mastery of this Queen and that star. Okay, next card. Oh, another reversal. 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords went upright. It's a message about rest and relaxation for the spiritual warrior. I find this interesting because we have the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Swords reversed. So this is up in the night. This is up in the night. This is us worrying, fretting, wringing our hands to some degree. Hamster wheel business in the head. So we really do need to get into our heart space. Now, when the 4 of Swords is in reverse, this is kind of, not kind of, it is. This is experiences and events culminating in such a way that you are forced to take a break and a rest. Kind of like the Tower coming down. You know, that's universal will having its way. So if you haven't gotten the message to from recent readings, which have been slow your roll, you know, we had that moving ahead, but then we had that slowing down the other day. I think that was 2 days ago. That was such an interesting message. Contrast all over the place. So if you haven't gotten the message to take a time out, get into meditation, relaxation, whatever that is for you. Meditation does not have to be sitting still. It can be, you know, repetitive tasks to put you in a Zen mode. So consider it. Get there. Go there. And it's when you're there that you end up sorting these things with grace, with ease, and coming into balance and harmony again. So you got to turn your Justice card right side up. Now you all know I don't do reversals very often. My cards are always upright. So when they come out this way, we pay close attention to their reversed messages. So having 2 reversals in a reading for me is significant. So do the self-validation work and do it in a relaxed manner. and make that deliberate choice to do it, because if you don't, circumstances will coalesce in such a way that you will be forced to. It's interesting too that that reversed 4 is underneath that 8 of Wands. 4s are super stable. 8s are super stable because they're doubled 4s. However, 8s are also full of movement. This is energy on the incoming. It's developing. It's your star card, which, by the way, is connected to 8s because there's almost always 8 stars in the sky on the star card. So this is a big message about active incoming manifestation blossoming in front of you, and you're being asked to be prepared for it, and you're being prepared for it by making sure that you are validating the self, taking care of yourself, taking responsibility for yourself, because that's no one else's responsibility. None of it. That's the work that we do for us so that we can bring our mastery to this sort of wonderfully spirited energy. Okay. Do I want to clarify anything? Yeah, I kind of do. All right. I'm going to go to my trusty Chuck Spezzano cards. All right. Let's see. This is the love pack. These are great clarifiers. Let's, what more can we know about reverse justice? First card, we get intimacy. Yeah, this is something that we deeply want here in the star. We desire this. This is something we want manifested in our loving relationships. And this is also something that we must have with our own selves before we can cultivate it here. That's why doing the work from the 9 of Swords to bring this to the 10, where the cycle completes itself and moves on. That's why this inner work, this validation, self-care, self-nurture is so important. Because if we don't have intimacy within our own relationship to ourselves, we cannot cultivate it in our beloved relationships in the way we are dreaming for it, praying for it. So consider that. I feel like there's another card there for justice. What can we know? Okay. We get control. Again, that's the influence of that 9 of Swords. We think that by, turning it over and over in our minds in the middle of the night, coming up with ideas that seem like a solution, really it's a way, when we find ourselves doing that, we're engaging our protective ego, saying, well, if it doesn't happen like this, then, it's just not going to work. That's not reasonable. It's just not reasonable. So we cannot build some illusion in our mind that will make it safe. Love, and especially the love of your life, is always going to be some great leap of faith, which the Fool is great at. And there is going to be some risk to it because you're risking your emotions and your feelings. But if you don't do it, you don't get it. Okay, let's see. Is there anything we can know about the reversed 4? Funny. Doubt. Yeah, we got to work on that. Validate your doubts. Validation is freeing, because it gives a voice to what's circling on that hamster wheel. And once it's expressed, once it's looked at, it's so much easier to let it go. What else can we know about the reversed 4? Perfect. Dream come true. I might as well put that with the star, but it's the doubt that's standing in front of the dream coming true. So do the work that is required. Do your very best to love yourself. And when you think you've loved yourself enough, love yourself some more. Build on the intimacy of your own relationship to yourself. This is a time to, call on your own guides and angels. Invite them to assist you in the process of clearing, validating your doubt so you can set it free. And then it's not trapped in your mind, circling for you in the middle of the night over here. We're here on the 4. And also share your thoughts and feelings with one of your really wise, open-hearted, dear friends, because they only want the best for you, and they'll validate you as you validate yourself, and they'll be a great sounding board for you. They'll tell you when to pull your head out of it. That's what good friends do. They tell you you're being ridiculous. No, you're not being ridiculous. This is based on past experience that was emotionally traumatic, and it's still with you, but it's not going to serve you in the love of your life relationship or in whatever it is that you are manifesting right now. Those doubts, fears, and worries, give them some love. Let them go and embrace what's in the oncoming for you. It is right around the corner. It is so close. You can touch it. So do this so that can come in. Excuse me. All right, we're going to move on now to our angel answer cards. This is your opportunity to ask a question. Oh, cool. I just love how this happens. Ask your angels, folks. I just said that. Your earth angels in the form of your dear friends. And of course, your actual angels. Ask for help from others. Yeah. I don't need to repeat myself. Definitely talk this out with someone that you love, who loves you, who wants to see you shine, who wants to see you thrive, and will help you get there just by loving you. Next card. Okay, here it is. This can go with our 4, meditation brings answers. It sure does. This is a great weekend to take care of you. Yes. Do some I love yous in the mirror. Hug yourself. Ponder what the 9 of Swords is bringing up. Do this in a relaxed way. Share your fears, doubts, and worries with someone who loves you. Have a conversation about that. That is proactive and healing. Not complaining, not lamenting. Just simply validating. And then bring your mastery on this Queen to it. And know that the universe has your back. Know that your manifestation process has not been, is not being withheld or even delayed. The perception of time can just be released, and you can come into complete faith and trust that what you seek is seeking you. Okay, last card. Comes from our Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection. And we get, everyone is doing their best. Yes, you are doing your best. There are really only 2 types of people. Those you now love and those you will love. until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. The game of life, the universe. Beautiful card. It fits. It's perfect. Oh, okay, wait. We do have one more card to do. This is from our empowering questions. I don't want to leave those out. I've had a special request for these. So, let's see. What's an empowering question for us? Where am I going and why? Are you going closer to your dreams, goals, and intentions, or further away? Why? Okay, everyone, that's the weekend reading. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave some comments. Tell us about your journey and what's going on here. And, you know, share some of your validations, how you helped yourself through these moments where faith seemed to wane and doubt or fear or worry was encroaching. How did you do the healing work? And where are you going? And why are you going there? Share that with us. People love to read these comments on the channel. I certainly do. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Stay tuned for the weekly forecast. My love, joy, and blessings to each and every one of you. And don't forget to check out your videos linked at the end of this one. If you'd like to book a private reading, you can do that in the description box below. Bye for now, everyone.